I just got done with my daily walk and now I'm here by the water. It's such a beautiful day today. It hasn't been. It was a very fall day this morning. It was very overcast and dreary, but now it's gorgeous. And it is Tuesday, so it's time to go through the money moves we've made over the last week. The first money move came from last Tuesday on the 29th. It was a super thanks from Robert, and he sent me $5 and said, "Have a great day." Robert, thank you so much. And on that same day, I also got a Venmo notification that Carol had sent me $125. And she said, "Happy to see you again, and I hope Piper is on the road to recovery." Thank you, Carol. You are so sweet. I did not move that money in the moment because I was worried about the vet bills that I told you guys about and having to take away from what I was hoping I was going to be able to do with my savings this month to cover the vet bills that were, of course, unexpected. So I just left that money where it was for the moment. And then on Thursday, the 31st, I got my W-2 pay, which was the paycheck from the second half of that long trip I had offshore. And it ended up being a bit higher than expected, a good amount higher than expected. I was nervous I did something wrong, so I emailed our HR accountant and was like, I don't know if I did something wrong with my timesheet, but I was expecting the same exact amount as the paycheck before since they both covered the trip 50-50. She wrote back and said, "No, it's correct. It's just that all of the overtime from the whole trip got calculated at the end of the trip." So that kind of makes sense because the first paycheck is a little bit lower than I had been expecting, which I didn't mind. It was still plenty, of course, but there was no overtime on that pay stub. So I was like, oh, maybe we don't get overtime. I don't know. I wasn't sure, but one of the other observers that was on the trip said we were. So I didn't know if it was a reliable source or not, but apparently we did. It just got added on at the end. So my paycheck ended up being $800 more than I thought it was going to be, which is exciting because then the next day, once I had heard back from the accountant and knew that the pay was right and all of the money was actually mine, I moved $1,000 to the fund, which completed my $2,000 savings goal for the month of October from that trip because of that extra $800. So I'm incredibly thankful for that. And the fund had $600 in it, so it brought it up to $1,600, which is awesome. And then on that same day, since I now knew that the paycheck was correct, I went ahead and moved that $125 that Carol had sent me through Venmo to the fund as well, which brought it up to $1,725. And then yesterday evening, I got a PayPal notification that Mark had sent me $45 through PayPal, and he said, happy Transfer Tuesday, Rachel. Thank you so much, Mark. I have initiated the request to move that to the fund as well, which will bring it up to $1,770. Now that leaves $230 to go on the fund, and then we can move on and start the homesteading fund, which is so exciting. It's the only thing I want in life right now. So we're gonna start that process, and we'll talk about all the details of it when the time comes, but just know I'm excited and we're so close. But that being said, let's talk about the November budget for a second. You guys, I'm so sorry that's not up yet. I actually filmed it on the 1st, and I had every intention of that afternoon editing and uploading it for the evening, but I actually got a boat assignment for the next day, and so early afternoon is usually when I reach out to the captains about the next day. So he had claimed for 3 p.m. the next day, figured he'd maybe leave around noon, and he got back to me and said, "I actually plan on leaving at midnight tonight, is that okay with you?" And so I was like, oh no. I panicked a bit and had to run home. I had to stop at the grocery store on the way home actually because I needed a few boat snacks because it was supposed to be a 3-ish day trip. I got home and cooked a really big meal, a good meal to get some nutrition in before I knew that was gonna not happen. And also it's just a way that I know I can combat seasickness for myself is just have a big meal a few hours before getting on the boat. So I made food, made myself extra to take with me. And I'm really glad that I did that because oh man, it was rough. So by the time I got groceries, got home, cooked, and I still had to pack my boat bag as well because I hadn't done that yet. I just ran out of time to edit and upload anything, and I was stressing out about it, and I just did not want to stress. You know, I just told myself it's not a huge deal, you'll get it up when you get back. So we left Friday at midnight, and we got home yesterday morning. But unfortunately, I started to get sick sometime in the early hours Saturday morning, and I could not recover, so I couldn't keep any food or water down the whole rest of the time. So I'm incredibly glad they came in Monday instead of today, because that would have been terrible. And I had hopes of editing and getting it up for you guys yesterday, but I was so dehydrated and exhausted and just felt like crap, so I just rested and hydrated, of course, and went to bed really early. So despite all that, though, it was still pretty cool because there was so many dolphins. Again, I know I keep saying that, but there's been so many dolphins. This boat, it's a small boat, and typically on small fishing boats, up in the bow, in the forepeak, is where your bunks are. And so when the dolphins are bow riding and talking to each other, you can hear all of the squeaks and squeals and clicks. It's so cute because they're like inches from your head, and it was a steel hull boat, so you can hear everything. And so even though I was laying there miserable the whole time, I still got to hear dolphins, and I knew they were playing outside, and it's so cool, so cool. But overall, the thing that is also exciting about the trip is I got 2 sea days out of it, plus some hours for Monday. My goal for the month for November was 3 sea days, so already off to a really good start in that regard, even though now I definitely need a breather. Like, actually, as I pulled in here today, my supervisor texted me, was like, do you want to have can you take a 2 to 3 day trip leaving tomorrow morning? And I was like, no, like, she already asked me how the trip went, like she does every time, and I told her it was pretty terrible. I just got home yesterday. Like, of course I don't want a boat yet, but I just was honest, and I was like, no thank you. Like, that last trip was actually genuinely terrible, and I need a breather. And she hasn't responded yet, but whatever, it's the truth. So, and I know the other observers are way more blunt with her, so I'm not worried about it, but it's just like, really? Anyway, so off to a good start with my W-2 income. Plus, instead of being on a boat right now, I want to switch gears and focus on side work, which is another big component of my November goal. I want to try and cover all of my expenses with gig work. And again, more details in the budget video. But tomorrow I want to do Instacart again and start making that side money because, like I said, I had to go to the store before the boat trip to get some snacks, and so I've already spent money for the month, so I'm already starting behind, and I had to get gas today. So I'm actually already negative $77.47. So I need to go make that back, which I'm honestly not worried about. I've done it twice so far, and I've done like 3-hour chunks each time, and I've made over $90 both times. So I think between tomorrow and the next day, I can definitely make that back. I'm actually going to take you guys along with me tomorrow just to, I don't know, share the whole process with you guys and share how much I make. I think it'll be fun and kind of talk to you guys more about why I'm doing it and what I'm hoping to get out of this spending challenge that I have for myself this month. That video will be up later in the week. I think it'll be fun. And I also am going to try to sign up with Uber Eats again. They kept denying me because when I transferred all of my car information to Maine, the town clerk filled out my car model incorrectly. So Uber Eats kept saying that all of my documents don't match, and so I had to call the town and get a new one, go over to my parents' house, pick it up. So that finally came in the mail, and I went and got it. And so I'm going to try tonight probably to get re-signed up, because that I think would be a good thing to try out maybe Friday, Saturday evening if I feel like it, since, you know, I don't have a lot going on anyway, so I might as well go try to make money. So tomorrow will be the November budget video talking all about my spending challenge, and then an Instacart ride along a couple days after that to see if I can make up the money I've already spent. Plus, like I said, I've got vet bills coming that I know are going to be kind of high. So we'll see if I can do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Happy Transfer Tuesday, and I'll see you tomorrow.